Good day to the kings and queens of the land. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. The EFF has given 746,000 to an NGO in El Dorado Park. Is it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken? Josie was speaking there. It was not even a bigger event where the CIC attends and all those things. It was small. Uh, but what I want to talk about really is uh, isn't it the same strategy that white people have used to buy the votes from the ANC conference? Um, isn't it the same strategy which the EFF is implementing? If they go around campaigning, uh, giving money to NGOs uh, during elections, uh, where do they get the money in the first place to give around like 700,000? Like the spending of uh, during election, it's actually the amount that they spend during election. It's massive, which is needed to be spent during election. Is massive, but the EFF seems not to be struggling, because if you are able to take 700,000 and just give it to an NGO during the time when you actually need more money for campaigns, then it tells us that you are not struggling. You do have the resources, you do have the money to throw around. So the question that many EFF members on the ground will not answer is, where does the money come from? Where does the money of the EFF that they give away to NGOs and that they use for campaigning? I mean, 700,000, it's quite a lot of money, uh, if we have to think it that way. It's quite a lot of money to give away during elections. They could buy T-shirts, they could buy a lot of things for their campaign, but they've decided to go and buy votes from the old age home in El Dorado Park. I don't think this gesture should be taken as the way they want us to take it, because it's really not the way they want us to take it. It's not a goodwill uh, from the EFF. It's buying of votes, it's buying of people, uh, because you can't really uh, talk to them to convince them in your politics, that you will really implement the right policies for them. So you can't convince them, then you use money to buy their, just to buy them out, to buy their votes. So I want to say to the elders who received the money in El Dorado Park from Lozi, that it's good that they took the money. It's a very nice thing. Uh, uh, Let them use the money like it was intended for the rent. It was actually paid. It's for the rent, but they should be free to vote for whosoever they want to vote for. They should not go and vote for the EFF because the EFF has bought them some things. Where do the money come from? If the EFF bought them some, or the EFF paid for their rental, where does the money come from? Isn't it coming from the enemies of the same people who find themselves in this situation, in these old age homes? In African traditions, There's no old age homes. Elders stays with their children and their grandchildren until they die. So these old age homes comes from white people, the system of white people, uh, which creates lonely old people uh, that are supposed to be in old age homes because there are no people or relatives to take care of them. So isn't it that this money comes from the same people to buy to buy out the votes for 2024 election in order to continue to oppress the same people? If any EFF member who is on the ground knows where the money comes from, you can just comment and let us know, where does the money come from. It's a goodwill, but where does the money come from? And what is the purpose? What is really do they want to achieve? Of course, they are displaying like it's a gesture, but they won't fool people like us who are aware of what is happening. They won't fool us. We can clearly see what they are doing. It's exactly what Ramaphosa did in the ANC to go and buy votes. Now they are buying votes for elections, national elections, not for political party elections like Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa bought the political party election. The white people bought the conference of the ANC. Now, the white people uh, on the EFF are trying to buy voters to vote for the EFF. I think this should be it should be highlighted for what it is. I thank you for listening.